I'll just start with a tool which is more intuitive and simple, but not as flexible and complex as Google Analytics. It's the Jetpack WordPress plugin. I mentioned it when we talked about manual pinning of your best pins from a smartphone. Do you remember that video? This plugin is the only way you can repin the best pins from your smartphone, because Google Analytics app doesn't show you the specific pin URLs when you're doing it on a smartphone. You can see the specific pin URLs only when you're on a desktop computer. So let's take a quick look at what other stuff you can see in Jetpack plugin. The most popular pins are shown here. You can choose the pins for the last day, last week, or last month. You can see the top posts for the same periods. You might be interested to see where you're sending users, so you're checking here which links you have in your posts that send users to other sites. You might have these links because you're an affiliate of some products, or because you have a lot of roundup posts. So if you do, then you'll have a lot of these links there. However, this Jetpack plugin is not showing you as much as Google Analytics, and you have to remember that it's not the best idea to trust all your data to a plugin. Maybe you will go to this Jetpack on a daily basis because it's right there in your WordPress admin panel, but you still have to use Google Analytics code on your site. You see, even if you apply to any advertising network like Mediavine or 𝗀𝗧𝗯𝗹𝗲, you have to show them your Google Analytics stats for at least the last 30 days. If you haven't been tracking your stats in Google Analytics, you will have to wait for a month before you're able to apply. So what is the best way to install Google Analytics? If you search for some tutorials, you might find recommendations to use a plugin to install Google Analytics to make it simpler. But trust me, it's not saving you much time, and in fact, it's not the best solution. I tend to avoid installing such simple but essential codes as Google Analytics using plugins. Why? Because a plugin is always a risk that something might go wrong. Imagine you didn't update the plugin when the new version came up, or you missed some emails from the plugin developer, so what happens next? Your analytics code stops tracking stats. The site works fine, so you might only notice that something went wrong in a couple of days when your stats are lost for those days. And it's not that difficult to install Google Analytics code, and I actually do it through Google Tag Manager. It's not something you might hear a lot from other bloggers. It's a little bit advanced tool, and it takes a little more time to understand what you're doing with Tag Manager, but it pays off very fast because you have to just add one code to your site. It's the Tag Manager's code, and then all the code you might ever need in the future, like Google Analytics code or Facebook Pixel code, everything will be added inside the Tag Manager's interface. So if you look at the Tag Manager's Help Center page, you'll see that it's just two little pieces of code that you need to add to your head tag, and then to your body, after your body tag, and that's it. I will not show you a detailed tutorial on how to install Tag Manager or Google Analytics code to your site. It's not the purpose of this course, and you can check all the instructions on Tag Manager's main page if you want to go with Tag Manager. In the video about my manual pinning technique, I showed you how I check the best performing pins in Google Analytics. I don't want to send you back there, so I'll show you again really quick where you need to go to see all these best performing pins. So you need to set up the dates you're analyzing, then you go to acquisition. From there you go to either all traffic referrals, and in referrals you will see the list of the best performing pins. You can click on this little arrow next to the pin URL and the pin opens in a new window. So you can repin right from here. These are the best performing pins. If you want to check the best performing posts, you can go to Social, then Network Referrals, and it will show you Pinterest traffic. Then you go to a specific post and you can check all the best performing pin URLs for this specific post. You can actually check the history of this pin over time. One thing that's not very convenient here is that you cannot open the pin directly from this page, so you need to copy and paste the pin URL if you want to repin it from here.